Hi there guys, welcome back. My name's Layla Nafa and this is my new YouTube channel dedicated to those of you with eczema and TSW, topical steroid withdrawal. I have had eczema since birth and I've had TSW and still going through the last vestiges of it over the last 2.5 years. And we're going to get started with 6 simple tips to ease your comfort when you're really in the thick of TSW and chronic eczema. So you guys, as I ask in every video, I really need your support. So before we get started, if you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up for this video. As you know, I'm new to YouTube and I'm really trying to build up my audience so that I can really target those who are in need of my help. So back in the day when I was in the thick of my TSW and I was chronically sick, I really didn't think there was any way out of my situation. Going back a couple of years ago, I had rips all down the side of my arms, neck and face and torso and stomach. I really was a mess and I had no idea how I got into this mess in the first place until I discovered what TSW really meant, topical steroid withdrawal. I found a group called ECZEMA, which you can find on Facebook, and they really helped educate me in terms of knowing what topical steroid withdrawal really was. In a basic nutshell, topical steroid withdrawal is a symptom that you have whereby you're reacting against the steroid creams that your medical practitioner is prescribing to you for your eczema. So, in simplified terms, you get your steroids from the doctor, you apply it to your body or your face or wherever you have your eczema for an unlimited amount of time. You can have almost an unlimited amount of steroids prescribed to you or re-prescribed to you without anybody really monitoring how much you're putting on and when. And this is where the trouble starts. You apply your steroids thinking that you're helping your eczema, but in actual fact you're doing more harm than good. You're simply masking the problem, the underlying problem of your skin issue, rather than healing from inside out. As a consequence, your body becomes addicted to these steroids and they want stronger and stronger steroids. This leads to your topical steroid addiction. In turn, your skin can have a massive diverse reaction and be head to toe covered in redness, scaliness, oozing, crust. It is endless agony, bone deep itching, and absolutely impossible to go to sleep with. During the thick of my TSW and early days, I really had no money. We had no income coming into the household. We had just bought a new house. We had loads and loads of bills. We had lots of setup costs. So it was really impossible for me to go and see a holistic practitioner. I'd been to see many different doctors who had all given me the same outcome, which was steroid on top of steroid on top of steroid, and I was just finished with that life. I really wanted to find an alternative way of healing from the inside out. At this time, I used to make up a butter and I used to apply this to my skin, and it was a butter that consisted of shea butter, coconut oil, and the cacao butter, and then I used to blend this all up together and add some essential oils like lavender and chamomile. And although this did penetrate somewhat into my skin, most of the time it just sat on top of the eczema and TSW, not doing very much other than getting my clothes very messy and my bedsheet. So I just quickly want to add a note in here to say that during my TSW journey, I know that a lot of you choose to do the no moisture treatment, the NMT. For me personally, it wasn't an option. I did try to do it for probably about 10 days and I found it excruciatingly painful. But I am a mum of 2 children and my partner is away 6 to 8 months of the year, so I'm sort of a semi-single mum. And doing NMT, I feel that you really have to have somebody either looking after you or you can't really be in a position to be looking after anybody else. I found it extremely difficult to do that type of treatment, and it just wasn't for me. I didn't choose to go down that road. I know a lot of you find it very helpful and very quick in terms of your healing process, but for myself it just wasn't an option that I could really stick. If you are in a similar situation to myself whereby NMT is not an option, then please keep watching. So when I finally had some money together, I went and saw my holistic practitioner, homeopath Julia Edgley, and she gave me some very good tips as to how I could really give myself maximum comfort and really start that healing journey with very basic simple steps. One which was changing out those butters for a lotion. Lotions are water-based, so therefore you're actually putting water into your skin as opposed to butters, which are really just full of oils and just sit on the skin itself. I switched to a Ven, it was called Extra Calm, and I just used to put that lotion on 3 or 4 times a day. Literally within 10 days, most of my lesions on my arms had actually completely closed up. So I couldn't believe, after so many months in agony, that such a simple solution was the way forward. Thereafter, I saw her almost monthly for about a year, almost a year and a half, and I still see her to this day. The second thing that she recommended as well was to stop taking so many baths and showers. By taking loads of baths and showers every day, especially with warm, hot water, we're stripping our natural oils out of our skin, making our skin even more and more dehydrated. We do not need to wash that much in life. We can literally do a sink wash with a flannel and a bar of soap and wash what is essentially needed there and then. I only take a shower when I want to wash my hair, and maybe after I've had a very long walk or I'm extremely cold, I'll have an Epsom salt bath. So your third essential tip, which you've heard me say over and over again in my last few videos, is diet. Diet is the key to all healing. Everything starts in the gut, as we know, and we know that what we put into our body is essentially what we need in order to heal our skin. It's a reflection of our health, everything that we put into our body. Now, as I said before, gut health, I didn't really know much about it, and on my journey I really learned an enormous amount of what is best for our gut in terms of healing our eczema and TSW. There are pretty much 4 main categories, one of which is to eliminate your gluten, eliminate your dairy, eliminate your histamine foods, and eliminate your nightshades. Those are the 4 main things. Thereafter, you've got eliminating of caffeine, eliminating of corn product, and then of soy products as well. Why corn and soy? Because of the GMOs in it. They're highly modified products in today's market, and we could really just do without them in our gut. There's nothing of benefit in those food products that can really determine a great deal of health. Now, the amount in which you itch is a reflection of how much histamine you have in your body. In order to really reduce that insatiable bone-deep itching that you have every day, especially in the night, you really need to look at your histamine levels. The best way to do that is to identify the food products that are very high in histamines. Now, we have 7 histamine foods. They're actually all fruit and vegetables and all very healthy foods. However, they contain very high amounts of histamines in them. If we can eliminate these foods temporarily, then we can reduce the amount of histamine in our body, therefore reducing the amount we itch. And that is the path to healing our skin. So, the key 7 foods to eliminate are avocados, tomatoes, spinach, bananas, mango, strawberries and raspberries, and chocolate. So look, I understand, doing an elimination diet can be really tricky, especially if you're trying to provide for your family and you're cooking every night. I do get it, it can be very complicated. However, you will find that if you don't stick to a diet and you don't make a commitment, then your skin is really never going to heal, and you'll be relying on other sources such as your products and your supplements to do the job for you. I repeatedly kept on going back to my healthcare practitioner, wondering why I wasn't healing, and sometimes I would cry endlessly in her office, thinking that I was going to look like this for the rest of my life. And it always came down to the same core principle of diet. Diet, eliminating these foods that my gut did not like and was not happy with. And the moment I took that decision into my own hands to really concentrate on that diet and apply myself to it, which was actually in the first lockdown we had in the spring, after the first 10 days to 2 weeks, I saw noticeable results, and my healing process had really kick-started. Thereafter, I was super motivated to carry on with the diet and keep going until my skin had completely cleared up. So my advice is just get started. Plan your meals, go to the supermarket, buy all your foods, go home, make a plan, organise your food and your shopping, and try and invest at least 2 hours a week in prepping some of your meals, such as the bread and the bread recipe that I've given, and some of the other lunch dinner menu options that I've done in my last few videos. So I'm just going to add this in. I'm just having my lunch whilst we're filming. Quick lunch break for me, and I'm having some rice noodles with some smoked mackerel and some red cabbage, a bit of bok choy and some carrots. Super simple. So number 4 is sleep. Sleep is absolutely crucial in terms of healing any disease. However, in terms of TSW and eczema, it's even more essential because this is when our skin's cells rejuvenate. However, a lot of us have a lot of anxiety related to sleep because it's the time in which we probably itch the most. This is because our histamine levels are at its highest in the 24-hour cycle. So first off, I used to take an antihistamine pretty much every night. I really wanted to ensure that I was going to have a good night's sleep, and these antihistamines did the job. I wouldn't recommend taking them all the time, especially now that I'm pretty much healed. I don't take them anymore, but when I was in the thick of my TSW and eczema crisis, I took them regularly simply because I really wanted to get a good night's sleep and I just didn't want to have that insatiable itch so that I could have a good productive day the next day. The next thing I used to take, obviously, and everybody probably uses them, is ice packs. These are a godsend. I used to put them either side of my neck. I still do from time to time, and this really, really helps just cool down that inflammation and cool down that itching. The other thing that I love to use is a silk pillowcase. This was a real game changer for me because rather than being on a cotton pillowcase, a silk pillowcase would just give me that extra hydration, allowing the creams I put on my face to actually absorb into my skin and not into the pillowcase. Also, I put those ice packs underneath the pillowcase, so then when I flipped it over, it was extra cool. These stay really nice and cool, even in the summertime. They don't absorb any heat, which is lovely, so they're always very cooling on the skin and allowing all those creams to stay in the skin as well. So the next two products I use also help cool down the skin and avoid the itching. I use the Itch Relief E45 cream, which has a numbing agent in it. I really love this cream. It's a real go-to. It's mainly available in the UK. I'm not quite sure if it's available in the US. I know they do a lot of CeraVe with a numbing cream otherwise as an alternative. I love this cream a lot though, and I love numbing creams because it does help you fall asleep in those first few hours nice and calmly without any discomfort. And the other thing I do love as well is my rose water, which I use a lot in the summertime when I get hot or when I need to go to sleep. This rose water is a beautiful spritz. It allows extra hydration, and often I put in a few drops of essential oils. I put in peppermint oil just to have that extra cooling effect. So I will put any of these products that I mentioned in this video down in the link below, so you've got a reference of where to go. So the fifth thing is to obviously get outside and get yourself some fresh air. This is so important for your mental well-being in terms of your healing. If you have a good positive mindset, then you will have a good positive outcome. I truly believe in that. Your mental well-being is so important during this journey, to stay positive, upbeat, and to know that you can beat this thing. And lastly, number 6, supplements. Supplements can really help support your body's function to regenerate new skin cells. As you can see in my last video linked in above, you can check that out. That's all about the supplements that I take and still take to this day in order to support my skin. So that's it from me, you guys, today. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Please leave me some comments down below if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask me that I can help you with. I really am here to help you along your journey, so please feel free to contact me either via Instagram or here on YouTube, or my email's linked in below. But please, happy healing and take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.